Hi there, just to say this is a short snippet from this week's main episode, which was published on Wednesday as always. If you want the full episode, you can find it just below this one. And we can take it one step further, and this might seem a bit crazy to say this, but your psyche is so constructed that, in fact, your world is constructed. Like, you don't have a clean relationship to the world. Now again, as I said in non-duality principle, really there's no such thing as a clean relationship to the world. But let me bring a nuance in. Because your mind is so constructed and your mind is so full of concepts, which are also constructed of course, you don't relate to things in a clean way. Like, you relate to them in a very self-serving way. And so you don't really relate to the world as it is. In other words, you do not perceive the world in a clean way. You perceive it in a self-serving way, which is to say that really you're relating to the world as you need it to be, or as you interpret it to be, right? So there is no world. Like, the world that you think you experience is really a construction. Now, I'm not saying you have magical powers and you just like imagine everything into existence. What I'm saying is the things that you think you're experiencing them through the lens of your own psyche. And there's no other way for you to, there's literally no other option. And so you're not like, and this is self-serving, it's done in a very self-serving way. It's done in a way that holds up the construction of you. So that's a bit of a mindfuck. Like, it's not just that your psyche is a construction, it's literally that that's true to such an extent that your world is literally a construction as well. And it's intermingled with what psyche you have constructed. So if we incorporate this insight into, say, a coaching and like relationship, then a coach can help you analyze why you construct yourself and the world as you do. Because again, it's a construction. It's something that you have to participate in and maintain. And it's like a house of cards. So which parts of the house of cards are distorted and disruptive? Which are helpful and productive? And in any case, realize that they're all equally constructed. Why is this insight, why is this principle so important? Like, why am I made this an entire principle? Well, listen, if all parts of you are constructs, then what I'm saying is that they're sort of partial because they're dependent on something. And if that something wasn't there, like let's say your upbringing was different, then your psyche would be different. So it's partial. But that also means that it's open to changing. So you're not restricted to that thing because it's not really truthful in any deep sense. And it's not, it's kind of arbitrary. And so it can be changed. It can be, you can see through it, you can see beyond it, and you can ultimately reprogram your mind. Hi there, just to say this is a short snippet from this week's main episode, which was published on Wednesday as always. If you want the full episode, you can find it just below this one.